Boom. What's going on? I almost kingpin this. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, new comic book day eve. And if you're keeping score, yes, tomorrow is the finale of Moon Knight. So you'll get one more week of the rating, and then obviously Thursday being the big day. So we got new comic book day. We got Star Wars people going crazy. We got, did I say Moon Knight? Yeah, I said Moon Knight. No, did I? Hold on. Let's rewind. New comic book day. Star Wars people going crazy. Everyone's going to say, may the 4th be with you. Yeah. Moon Knight and then Doctor Strange. And at the end of the month, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So it's going to be crazy. So a lot is happening in the month of May. Happy May, by the way. I know I said it on Sunday, but if you didn't join me on Sunday, happy May now. Like I said, new comic book day eve, Moon Knight. So it's going to be a fun show. Want to say hello to the chat. But before I do that, I'm going to bring in our special guest, Mr. Rocksteady. He's helping out with the show. Last time he was on, he killed it. He did, I think this is a month now that he's been rolling with me because he made his debut on the Hottest Comics last month. And here we are a month later. So let's bring him out. Everybody, warm introductions to Rocksteady.
1 month. This is one of my longest relationships.
I hope your girlfriend's not watching.
Me too.
She's probably like, wait. But man, happy Tuesday, happy new comic book day eve. Anything
and free comic book day this weekend.
Ooh, shoot. Yeah, how did I forget that? Yeah. New comic book day. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Don't forget, guys, Blade, first appearance of Blade's daughter. There's a first appearance in the Spider-Man one as well. So those two are definitely ones to grab. I actually have a few copies because when I went to Oshawa with Just Cruz, who I see in the chat, there was a shop that was actually already had them out. So it was really weird to me because I'm like, oh, like 3 weeks early. That's cool. But I don't know. Did you grab any?
They'll get canceled.
Dude, if they get canceled, I'll take it. But you know what? The new comic book day stuff, I mean, yes, it's a free book. So, why not get it? But at the same time, a lot of these new comic book days later on do demand a pretty penny. Like
free comic book day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, free, not new comic book day. Yeah, free comic book day. Usually demands a pretty price. There's a few. I'm actually sending a few off to CGC myself. So the first Nadia Van Dyke, I think it is. There's a Spider-Man one with like Jackpot. So I mean, like some of these do garner, a bit of cash. So
I think there's like First Grievous, I think was in.
First Grievous, Jackpot.
Even Umbrella. Last year was the new High Republic one.
That just like 2 months ago just got hot. Yeah. So I mean, like, you never know. Just pick them up. Just take an extra copy. The Ash can, the Ninja Turtles Ash can. I remember grabbing like a stack of those. It was like $100 a book. It was crazy. It was madness. So you never know. It is what it is. Don't overdo it. Don't take all of them. Leave some for the kids. Please leave some for the kids. But yeah, let's say hello to the chat really quick. Nadia Pim. I thought it was Nadia. Okay, it's Nadia Pim. All right. I trust you, Punch. I trust you. Newbie Comics taking the gold. Man, good for you. Coming in early at 9. Michael's actually getting the gold. So what's going on, Michael? Sam Rock is in the house. What's going on? Sam, let me know if you're going to the Mississauga show on the 29th, I think it is. Sunday. Same place that I was selling at. There's a show there. So let me know if you guys are going. Mr. Johnny Dakota's in the house, fellow Canadian. Phil Talks Weekly. Foil. No, hold on. Let me talk. Gold, silver, bronze. Oof. You get the 4th place ribbon, the one that nobody wants. So, but usually the person that gets 4th, you are driven for the next 4 years to be like, I need to get a medal. I need to get a medal. And then usually the next Olympics come and you just end up in 22nd or something. So, sometimes it's not best to get 4th. But Phil, welcome, man. How you doing? Hernani's in the house. Mr. TKO. Dan Delatorre, way to take your time putting up the show link. I was busy working a double, then did a whatnot, and now I'm here. So yeah, I'm dealing with a sick wife. So yeah, there's a lot going on in my household. Just Cruz. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Miguel is in the house. Will no Toby. Sorry,
will not obey.
Oh, will not obey. Okay.
Remember Bumper Stumpers, that show?
Bumper Stumpers. No.
Oh, okay. It was one that had like license plates and you had to sound them out. You
Oh,
wouldn't be
really?
good
Oh,
at
I
it.
don't remember that. I don't remember that. RP, and I'm older too, so like I think I should know, but then again. April showers bring May flowers. Yes, they do. Peter, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Fellow Canadians in the house. Uncanny Swag is here. Rush, what's going on, man? Hawaiian Punch. Yeah, so let's get it going to the biggest Star Wars fan newbie. May the 4th be with you. Oh, wait, that's Black Panther. Yeah. I don't know what Star Wars people do. This is it that? I don't know.
Oh, you're such a troll.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it like I don't know. I don't know. So,
we'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Maybe there's something that Star Wars people do. I don't know, man. So yeah, but what's going on, Justin? How you doing, brother? Guys, if you guys haven't already, please make sure you guys clear your week. Every Thursdays, on the weekends and stuff like that. This guy is killing it on Whatnot. Him and Zach are doing a killer show on their podcast, the Comic Con podcast. Make sure you guys go check it out. If you're into Star Wars, you are not into Star Wars. If you talk to you cannot be into Star Wars as much as this guy, but this guy's having a crazy deal, crazy sales on Whatnot. So make sure you guys go check it out. The more
I think he's doing a giveaway. If you follow his show, the more people who follow, the bigger book is the giveaway.
Yep. So the more bookmarks that you have, he'll bring in more books. So make sure you guys go check it out. He's got some
like Clone Wars, I think, was the big giveaway.
Yeah. So if you're a Star Wars fan, make sure you go get it, man. One Punch Man, that's a freebie too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fun House. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Chris, my brother from out west. What's going on? Stanley Cup season? No, it's Stanley Cup playoffs. In this household, my wife is a Leafs fan, so it is just, it's going crazy. Mr. Hyper, where's the book? This book right here made headways. Where is it?
This guy's been cleaning up on Whatnot too, from what I've been seeing.
Hyper just purchased 2 of these. If you guys were watching the Toronto Comic-Con special edition, he's a big Street Fighter fan, so he picked up 2 of these. Justin picked one of these up as well. Congratulations, guys. I know Hyper is a huge Street Fighter fan, so I'm happy that he was able to win some. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Plus, that book's a ghost, apparently, according to Greg.
I've never seen it. There's none on eBay.
Yeah. So I've only got one copy left, and I think I'm gonna keep it just for those reasons because it's a ghost. So, you do know. I do not know. Wookie, what's going on? Okay, I have to leave the chat after that. Hey, I'm not trolling, man. I'm not trolling. I apologize. Mr. Black Crown is in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing? North 49. Yes. Dude, I know. I picked the wrong time to do my Whatnot sale. Even though I'm in Canada, even though I'm in the Toronto area-ish, I'm a huge Rangers fan. That is my team. So I should have been watching, but we'll see. Avalanche next. So, jeez. Show 'em, newbie. Yeah. So everybody's liking that book, man. It's a special, so I claim it. Don't worry, man. I'll go get you one. But yeah, guys. So let's start the show. I'm pumped, man. This show, along with like all of them, are always fun. But this one, I always love it because the chat can really get into this show just simply because they're like, yeah, I stacked that book up. I follow a YouTuber and he told me to stack it. And now I have 10 copies and it's worth nothing. Or it's the opposite. I stacked 10 and now I'm like a thousandaire. Or it's, I only got 1 copy. I didn't know it was going to be that big, right? So like, it's always good to kind of go back, revisit, see where it's at. Especially if there was any important information or keys that are really down, because you never know where you're going to see them down the road. Captain Carter come to mind? Captain Carter was on the shelf for what? The last month, and then out of nowhere, wow, I need it. It's still at shelves, and people are still buying, like paying $20 for it. So
the show's not long enough for that conversation.
Yeah, no, and we're not going to talk about Captain Carter. I think if you want to talk Captain Carter, just go on Instagram. The conversation will be taken care of right then and there for you. So, all right, well, let's start the show. I cannot wait. Okay, after the Rangers fan, I will stick. Messier made me a hockey fan. That's how it was for me when I came to Canada.
I'm in Edmonton, Wookie. We know.
Oh God. I mean, did he really do anything in Edmonton though?
What? Are you kidding me? He
Just
won
saying,
how many Stanley Cups in Edmonton?
he led New York to a cup without Gretzky. In Edmonton, he had Gretzky. He had Kevin
the
Lowe.
last cup he won in Edmonton, Gretzky was already gone.
Sounds made up. But anyway.
Another day.
Newbie, what grade do you plan to give Doctor Strange 2? Probably like a 3, right? You know what? Just based off the trailer, I would already give Doctor Strange like a 5. So
that's pre-rank.
The premature rank, yeah. Messier killed my Canuck. Oh, dude, I don't think people associate Messier in Vancouver. That's where he finished, but like, yeah, it's not a good season.
That's where he finished.
It's baseball season. Yeah, exactly. Go Yankees. All right. Let's get it started, man. Let's get it started. I'm pumped. So we're starting off hottest comics of April. Fuego. Dave Collects is in the house. What's going on, man? Matrix Comics, but it's hard to stack ghost books. Can't find them. Cheers to that. I like that one. All right.
Dad jokes in the house.
The other day I said I was at work and I said to this like younger girl, we were like joking around doing stupid jokes, and she's like, tell me like a dad joke. And I was like, I have an L-shaped couch, lowercase. And she was like she couldn't think of it. Literally like 2 hours later, I had to tell her, it was like, it's just a couch. Lowercase.
When you have to explain it.
Yeah, it's just, so it was bad. All right, hold on. Before we get started, what is your opinion of the comic store owners who stamp their FCB days? Some people spend upwards of $200 to $300 a month and ask if they could get the book without the stamp. I hate when they do that, and I literally will grab, a few copies from each shop or whatever of the books I want, and if they're stamps, well, guess what? I will literally give those as freebies because I don't want the stamps. Just don't. I don't think CGC. I think CGC like penalizes you for the stamp, right?
I don't know if they do or not. Because they don't withhold date stamps, right? So, and they were intended to have a stamp. I actually like it when the shops stamp them. I think it's a little. I think in 20, 30 years, it's going to be cool to look back at the shops. A little bit of history added in, and they are supposed to be free. These aren't the ones that are supposed to be collector and slab. So I think it also adds a bit of lore to the ones that aren't stamped.
But a lot of these freebies are worth a lot of money, right? Like, so yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I get your point, but
yeah, I see both ways too.
Yeah, like if you want, stamp one of them and just leave me a nice copy with no stamp. You know what I mean? Like I'd be okay with that. It's not like I'm gonna go around being like, "Hey, I got this at here."
You should get a Newbie Comics stamp.
Ooh, I should. That'd be pretty good. Pretty good. There is one book that I cannot wait to talk about on this list. So we got 10 books, and not necessarily are they the hottest, like all the copies in the world sold, but maybe just they caught heat. They kind of had us for like a week, a half week, maybe a whole month, whatever the case may be. Spoiler alert, Captain Carter 1 will not be on this list, even though it spiked a few days ago into April, like the last couple of days. So we're going to wait for that one. That one's going to be the first book we talk about when we do the May. So that's going to be interesting. So if you had Captain Carter comments, we're probably going to wait till next month. All right, let's get it started. Hottest comics of April 22. And I try to keep them in order from the beginning of the month to, near the end. So, we can kind of be like, oh yeah, that one came out. So first book up, guys. I cannot wait to talk about this one. But we've got Black Panther, #5, second appearance of Tosin. It did not spike. And what do I mean by that? Newbie, what do you mean it did not spike? What I mean is it's still on shelves. It is still at every store that I go to on the shelf. It did not spike because even on eBay, they're selling for cover. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are saying, well, he only shows up in the last 2 panels. But if you actually look at the solicitations of previews, they told you that already. They literally said it's going to be the second appearance. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. I don't know why people are mad. Regardless of your opinion, this is still a second appearance. What are your thoughts? Did you go heavy? I've got 2 copies. I tried selling one on Whatnot. It was one of the books that didn't sell. Like nobody wanted it. I put it undercover, which still, and nobody wanted it. It seems like nobody wants it. There was too much hype going into it. A lot of people pre-ordered it like crazy. I think that's what's going to hurt it too. But I think that this one could see something down the road if Tosin actually does become what everybody thinks he's going to do. So, Greg, I got to ask you. You got a lot of these? Are you happy you didn't buy enough? Where are you on this book?
I have a lot of these, and I still have a lot of these.
What's a lot? What's a lot?
No, not a lot. I think I pre-ordered between all the covers 8 in total. I think I got 3 of this one, 3 of the Spider-Man one, and 2 of the other. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's the story of this book. So number 3, obviously we all know what happened with that, especially the one in 25. But then during the peak of that height, number 4 went for pre-order, and so did the second print of the first appearance, right? So the second print came out, and it was crappy paper. So like a lot of them were actually lost. But this one, like people ordered a lot of number 4, not reading previews. And then number 5, I think everybody did what I did. So I think this is a very long-term hold. And the reason I think is because we're in the shitty paper period of Marvel Comics. So I think if these ones aren't graded, they're just going to deteriorate over time. So I think 9.8 is the play on this if you're going to do anything, or it's going to be a long-term hold. There's just so many. Like, there can be something good about an issue, but it's all about supply and demand, and there's just so much supply.
I agree with everything you said, but I have to comment this. Brandon, I actually remember where the line is from. So on my Whatnot sale, my foot hit the desk and it shook, and then one of the slabs fell. And literally I said, I'm okay, folks. Don't worry, folks. I'm okay. And I said it in that voice, but it's because like I do a lot of Simpsons memes. I've gone back to rewatch The Simpsons, and I think that The Simpsons are back to being one of the funniest shows. Like even older episodes, like there's so many one-liners and things. And actually, this line is from the Omni Goggles, where they're like, "Folks, do you fear getting your newspaper and the elastic band just hitting your eye?" And then like Lenny's there, like, "It's my worry all the time." Or Marge says that, she's like, "It's my worry all the time." So yeah, that's where the line is from. But anyway, that was just whatever. Anyway. I do agree with you. I think this is a long-term play, and I think that's where it's going to be beneficial because there's going to be a lot of people that just don't care about this book now. So they're just going to be like, whatever. And they might not treat it as good. What I did was I put it in my PC box. Usually the books that come out of there when I leave them for a long time just need to press, but they come back 9.6, 9.8. I think that's where your play should be. Second appearance regardless. So if you're on the train of this character's coming, this character's going to be like Miles, you might as well do it because this character's going to come. It's probably going to be a $200 book if he hits, at least, worst case, right? I mean, look at the Miles second appearance.
Yeah, right? But nobody was that into Miles. Nobody was that into those characters. Like, there's just so many, man.
Yeah, I think, but let's be honest. What really got everybody on this was the Ultimate Fallout 4 homage. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a nice cover.
It's literally what people thought Hulk 6 was going to be, right? Everyone's like, Hulk 6 is Venom 3. No, it didn't. So it is what it is. Empire, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? I got 11 of these. And yeah, it's JOMO, big shout out to the Comic Kingpins for blessing us with that copy, right? Yeah, joy of missing out. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm happy that I only got 2 copies. I had 5 copies, and I literally told my shop, I'm like, man, I'm just going to take 2. And they were cool with it, so. All right, let's go on to the second book. Moon Knight #1. Now, of course, this has been one of the books that has just been blowing up the last 5 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks. Obviously, the show's going on. If you've paid attention in episode 3, was it 3 or 4? I think it was 3. There was rumors, or there was a scene where Mark is talking to Layla about the missionary mission that he went on, and he killed him. That was
I'm gonna jump on you before the Kingpins do. It's
Bushmaster. Yeah, it's Bushman, not Bushmaster. I always put Bushmaster. I don't know why.
You always.
I don't know why. I don't know what I'm thinking of. But he was talked like in it, right? So they addressed that he was there. So who knows if he shows up at the end tomorrow in the show at all or anything like that. But again, this one's obviously the cover. This one's way better than what is it, Marvel Spotlight 28. I really do think that this is a way better cover. I like this one better. I've owned this one. Given the opportunity to get both, I would still pick this one. But I think this one's gonna on Thursday, Friday, you're gonna just see them. This weekend, let's be honest, there's gonna be 3 things going on this weekend. The next week, the next 7 to 10 days, this was gonna happen. Everyone's gonna be selling Star Wars stuff. Everyone's gonna be selling Moon Knight stuff, and everyone's gonna be selling Doctor Strange stuff. Those are the 3 things that are gonna be on top 10 list. Those are the 3 things that are literally gonna be everywhere for the next week or 2.
I think this book's gonna hang, man.
Really?
I think this book will hang. I think some of the Lemire stuff will crash a little. 28 is, I think Spotlight 28 is a very cool book. It's his first solo, but this is like where he really picks up. This is where we really get to know Moon Knight, like the Bushman, the origin. So they did the callback. We got that in the show. The cover, I think, is, I don't want to say iconic, but I think it's well known. Like everybody recognizes this cover, so you're not going to find this book sleeping anywhere.
Yep.
And $200 to $500. I think $500 might be a little bit high, but $200 range I don't think is unreasonable for this book. Long term, I know there's a ton out there. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think this one might hang.
I have a 9.6 of this, but it was a gift. Yeah, if it's a gift, I mean, just, keep it, RP lagged on this one, but I think I'll wait for the dip and look for yeah, I think that's the best thing, man. Best advice I can give you if you're just coming into the comic world or whatever, because it's like anything, right? Every day there's new people coming, new people leaving. It's just the way it works in any hobby, anything in life. I really think that if you're a Moon Knight fan, just wait a month. You could maybe be surprised at what you find it in a week or 2, because everyone's going to be on Star Wars. Everyone's going to be on Doctor Strange, even leading up to May. Everyone is going to be leading up to, we're probably going to get another trailer of Thor on May 2-4 weekend, right? And then everyone's going to be on that and Star Wars with the Obi-Wan. So I think people will forget and you'll be able to pick up a really nice copy. Sunskate covers of the Moon Knight run will always be killer books, though. Yeah, but like anything, though, they're all going to go down, right? Like it just happens. It happens to all books, and I don't think the exception will be Moon Knight. And I know a lot of people are like, well, like it's fine if you don't think, but like if you look at the history, a lot of the books do that, right? So,
I've had some of my eye on some of those Moon Knight covers later in the run, like 28 and stuff, like the black covers. And then the 9/8 populations didn't go up much, even with all the people submitting. Like those black covers later in the run are tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think if you want Moon Knight, just wait a few weeks. You'll be able to get all the Moon Knight books you want, especially if you missed out or you gained more respect and love for the character. Just wait. All right. And I apologize for the image because Google was not working with me on this one. But Spawn 9, Angela, for whatever reason, and I still don't know. All I keep hearing from Spawn people is, yeah, no, man, there was a rumor she's coming. What rumor? I didn't hear, but nevertheless, people were going crazy for Spawned. So Angela 1 was up there. I kind of fell into that trap. I bought 2, sold them already because I don't really care. I found myself buying it just like peer pressured. FOMO almost, I guess, hit me. And then I was like, no, I need to sell these. Like, I don't care. But Spawn 9, I mean, you see it everywhere. A lot of people are saying she's coming. Raw copies, $20 to $80, man. Where are you on this book? I mean, you see it everywhere. It's not like it's a ghost or anything.
This is a supply and demand book. Like there's so much supply. So on this, it's 9.8 or bust. Like it's not like out there you can find every shop. If you ask them, do you have a Spawn 9? They'll pull out a Spawn 9 for you. Newsstand, I like a little bit more. And for some reason, for a white cover, this one isn't one that's prone to dirt. Do you know? Like I've never come across a Spawn 9 and it's been like dirty, and so I think they've stayed high. A lot of people were on Spawn. Angela's first crossover into Marvel, I believe, was even in Guardians. So it may not be the Thor movie. It might be Guardians if we see her. So it still might be a little bit away, but supply on this
the problem
one
is they probably have to go more PG rated, PG-13 dress code with her.
But then what's the point of having Angela? Like you might as well go with other Valkyries, right? Like
I'm just saying, like I have a hard time believing that they would bring this character in to a movie like Thor or Marvel in general, where they know a younger audience is going to show up, and then you're going to have this chick in basically a thong and a small bra with huge tits, right? Like I don't.
This is why we haven't seen like Vampirella and some of them, right? Like same reason, like how
Red Sonja, the girl that played Ghost in Ant-Man, she's supposedly rumored, and we talked about this last year, she was cast as Red Sonja, so who knows? But I mean, again, same thing. How are they going to do her? Because she literally wears nothing. So we'll see. All right, Greg, we both fell into this one, and a lot of people in the chat did, but Batman Beyond the White Knight #1. So we got a new appearance of a new Robin. Day of release, it was low print. However, shops didn't tell you this on Wednesday. They ended up telling you on Thursday saying, hey, don't worry. We're going to get more copies because it's just like a delivery thing, right? And I know that kind of happened here, but it wasn't a low print run at all. It was advertised as a low print run, and people were like going nuts for it. And then people were reading it, and they're like, wait a minute, there's a new Robin. Oh, okay. This book hit 20 books opening day. I had 3 copies, sold all 3. Currently, raw prices $8 to $12, so it has slowed down. Obviously, it's lost a little bit of lust. So if you want this book, I'm sure you can get it for way cheaper. No CGC, of course, unless you work at CGC somehow and you got it. But shame on you then, because I got books at CGC still. But yeah, I mean, long-term hold, I don't know. Is it a good cover? Yeah, it's all right. If you're a Batman Beyond fan, sure. But I saw this as an opportunity of the hobby paying for itself 100%.
I didn't fall into this. Like, we're not DC guys, but I didn't even fall into this one. Every week is not even just a new character. Like, they redo one of their biggest characters. Like, Robin is huge. And now there's another new Robin, another new somebody. And then it was a mix-up between the A and B covers, I believe, on this. They printed too much of the B and not enough of the A or something. And it's all just one of those speculator traps where a little bit of wind gets out and people try to cash in. And if you don't on the first day, you're stuck with it. Like there was that issue of Hulk, I think, that they supposedly called back that spiked one day and then crashed like within a week. And I think it's going to be like that. Like Batman collectors, if you didn't get it off the shelf, you're probably going to have to pay $1 or $2 more for it. But I don't think long-term potential for this.
Agreed. Back-to-back movies of long lost sister issues. Yeah, if they do that, hey, that's good. I just don't really care for Angela. Not really one bit. Or this one. I know the chat's still on the Angela stuff. Yeah. I think this one, I mean, it just goes to prove that, not all books are going to hold. And that's okay. You just got to know which ones to hold. But obviously nobody has a time machine, so you can't look into the future. Who knows? Maybe this book is a $1,000 book. And I say that because there's a lot of books that people said that and then they get laughed at or it's ridiculous, only to be like, well, look at it now, right? So we'll see.
Well, and like think about how different this book would be if it were Marvel and it was a new Marvel character. You found out it was short printed. Like I think it would be way more if it were just a Marvel book.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. All right. Speaking of Marvel, we got ASM 93. First appearance of Chasm. Is that how you say it?
Chasm, you got it.
Chasm. Sweet. Somebody on one of my shows when we were actually talking about this book coming out, so this was probably like a month and a half ago, kept messaging me even after the show, and I'll keep it between us, but he kept saying, he's like, dude, you didn't even notice that his name is in his mouth. No, I did, and it's in the show. We talked about it. But thank you anyway for letting me know that. You didn't have to message me for like a day and a half. But anyway, yeah, so the name is obviously in the mouth. This thing went crazy. I don't know about you, Greg. Currently selling, I have no idea. I didn't really bother to look. Day of release, it hit $20 to $25. It was the look, the flavor of the month, if you will. But a lot of people around here, like what I gathered from a lot of people, they were comparing this one to ASM 55. That black cover with the web. Everybody was like, oh, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. I don't really think it hit those peaks. Do you?
Well, they were comparing it to that because it's the same artist, right? It's Gleason.
But I mean, like in not in terms of like, yeah, the same artist and everything like that, but they were comparing it like, okay, it's the same artist, it's the same style, so it's going to hit those numbers, right? And it didn't.
So here's the problem: is stuff goes up because nobody ordered it. As soon as people have wind of something, it doesn't because it's over ordered, right? Like, so it's like stuff from the past that becomes collectibles aren't stuff that we thought were going to be collectibles.
Yeah.
So with the Gleason stuff, like a lot of people are on that Gleason train and trying to get a whole series. Like he did all the Spider-Man. He just did the Goblin Queen one, or whatever that was. I like this book in the sense if you got it for cover, Spider-Man first appearances rarely go for below double cover. So I did pre-order a bunch of these. What I did notice with this one is that the A covers dried up real quick too. So I think shops knew that the Gleason covers were selling and probably ordered more B covers than A covers on this one.
Right. Yeah.
So where the spec relies on this one is what happens with Chasm. So it's a really unknown entity, like most spec books. But I think if you got it at cover, hold on to it. I'm paying $10 if you can get it without shipping at a show and you missed it. Sure. But yeah, I think we'll see with this one. I don't think I'd steer people away from it, but I don't think I'd steer people to it either.
Yeah. This one will be in shows and bins for like $10.
Yeah.
Real soon, I bet. Mr. Comic Ozzy's in the house. What's up, brother? If you guys aren't following him on Whatnot, make sure you guys go follow him on Whatnot at Comic Ozzy. He's got a lot of good books, man. And starting bid's $1, man. So you can find really great deals. He gives out a lot of freebies to the US guys because of the shipping, right? Whatnot shipping is a little crazy. So he gives a lot of freebies. So make sure you guys go check him out.
Him and I go back to back every Saturday morning. Canadian bacon brunch.
Canadian bacon brunch. All right. And again, Google didn't work with me on the image, but Strange Academy 16, first full Howie. Now, there's some argument with Howie. A lot of people are like, it's not this one, it's this one. No, it's this one. I don't know. I've got no clue. So we're going to learn today, and we're probably going to get some conversation going. But first appearance of Howie, it spiked. It made the top 10 list, and it was still on shelves, especially here. Raw copies were selling anywhere between $20 and $30, but currently you can find a few at 20, but most of them are in that $8 to $15 range. So obviously losing some steam. What are your thoughts, man? I don't know. I didn't really fall for this one.
I think it all depends what happens with 18 because they're introducing, they said, a new semester in like the previews. So how big of a part they make Howie, how big of an origin story they give him, whether he's related to Werewolf by Night. But then this is split between this one and the Death of Doctor Strange, Strange Academy. Where I like room on this book is actually on the B cover. Not a lot of people, even with the headshots, were ordering B covers for Strange Academy. So I think right now you can still grab them all for cover. But in the future, they're going to be seen as the low print. So, yeah, I think Howie really depends on the next semester and what comes out of 18, because he is the headshot for 18, the last issue of this current run, or the last of the arc, I guess you would say.
There is something that I was going to ask about this book is the copies that were left on the shelf, a lot of them, and I'm not trying to show this book off, a lot of them on this side were literally bent and wavy, like right on the spine, like they were pretty damaged. And that was literally like throughout like a bunch of stores here. Obviously, way after, you know, it came out, and it was on shelves, but a lot of them were really damaged like that. So I'm wondering, was that just like something here, an East Coast thing? Did you have that where you were, or no?
It's a Marvel thing, man. So that's what I'm saying about these books right now is anything that's left on the shelf that you try to go back to that picks up steam 3 weeks from now is not going to be a 9.8. So if you have books from the last like 6 months that are a long-term hold for you, get them graded because they're not going to last. Like that cover paper is no different than the interior paper. And I just think because this one didn't go off the shelves right away, it sat on the shelves for that 3 weeks, like super prone to fingerprints, super prone to waving, super prone to spine creases. So it's the time of the books. I don't think it's the individual book. Oh, that's good.
I was gonna say, dude, this guy, like, are you you don't gotta show off, man. Okay, you're in Hawaii. Jesus, we're in Canada, so it's like, you know, it's May 4th or 3rd, and it's still like raining and, you know, 3 degrees here. So, but hey, enjoy Hawaii, man. Yeah, Franco's Comics. Newbie always got that ear to the ground with the best spec in town. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you, Bleak. Finally able to catch you live. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you tuning in, man, especially from Hawaii.
It's like lunchtime there or something, probably.
Yeah, probably, right? 3-7. Yeah, it's probably just about dinner time, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just before dinner. So that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining, man. All right. Spider-Punk 1. Where do I begin with this one? So this is the 1 in 50. Puke green, obviously. This one is interesting. One, because a lot of copies were damaged. Mine included. My 1 in 25 that I got from Big B, damaged, like terribly. There was 3 that they had on order, and 2 of them were just destroyed. We only got 1 in 50 that actually came in properly. And basically, I mean, I don't know for like anybody else, but any cover A that is been sold here, like in my area or even East Coast, there's no way none of them are 9.8. Like I have a hard time believing any of them are going to come back 9.8. The paper is crazy. It was shit condition. It was damaged to shit. It was damaged in like the middle staple, maybe like a centimeter off the staple. It was always damaged. It was like, you know, color breaks and everything like that. And like every copy, I went to like 5 stores. Every copy had the same one. So it's going to be difficult to see down the road. Will this garner some money? 100%. I think he's going to be really popular. I think he, you know, the spikes, the rock music, the punk music rather, you know, I think it'll resonate, but long-term hold, and it's probably going to be 9.8 or nothing. I just don't think enough people are going to buy those damaged copies.
And I feel like I'm just talking about paper every time you ask me about a book. But I think, like, I remember when you could pre-order a 1 in 50 and guaranteed it would be a 9.8, 9.6 at worst. And now it's not like that. Like, you're lucky to get a 9.8. So, and this isn't one that sits on shelves either. So I think every, like, 1 in 50, 1 in 25 from this time period is going to be, like, 15 or 20% population-wise less because there's damages and there's returns and stuff like that. So I think Spider-Punk is going to be a culty thing. I don't think it's going to be a mainstream fandom kind of experience.
Oh, you mean to say like Moon Knight was culty and then
yeah, maybe to a point. Yeah, I think like Spider-Punk fans are going to be Spider-Punk fans. Like I saw everybody being like, oh, Misfits references. And then I saw they're coming out with different characters that are going to be part of the punk band that are also superheroes.
Yeah.
So long term, yeah, cultish. I do like this cover. I do like Bubblegum adds 10% to a cover for some reason. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. But the prices, I couldn't buy in right now at this.
Franco's Comics has got a good question. I don't know if it's a question or a statement, but he is right. I mean, it could be rare down the road just simply because there's going to be minimal 9/8s. But I also think he is going to have a following. Like you said, I do think he has a little bit of following and it'll be popular. And like anything, you know, any character that comes around, like we all make fun of Miss Marvel, but I guarantee you there's going to be everybody and their grandma selling Miss Marvel when she comes in June, right?
Me and my grandma are.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this one down the road in 9/8 will be. And I think, you know, if you look at the chat, everybody's against it. I think there's opportunity here to get a deal down the road when these start coming out. Fast track in the US probably like next month. You'll start seeing some of these CGC ones coming out. So I don't know. It could be a play, it could not be, but that's what comics is, right? It's almost a gamble. It's kind of stock, so we'll see.
But I think with the books right now, like generally you see like, okay, 9/8, the first batch come out, and then you kind of get a plateau. And then it kind of stays there. And sometimes it even goes down as the market gets saturated. So I just don't know if we're going to see the same saturation with some of these books in 9/8. I think we're going to see 9/6 saturation. I think we're going to see 9/4 saturation, but I don't think we're going to see 9/8 saturation. And there's going to be demand for 9/8s.
I have a suggestion for the paper quality, and I said it to Ozzy yesterday when I went hunting with him. So we all go and hunt, right? And I'm sick and tired of going through like a collection or, you know, these new shops where they have like 44 long boxes, right? And like 25 of them are literally the same issue of Superman or Robin. Let's start there. Let's find all those issues. Clearly nobody's reading them. Yesterday we came across 3 long boxes, and 3 of them were full, no bag, no board, of the same Superman. It was a no-name Superman issue. Let's start there. Nobody's looking for it. Let's start there. Let's recycle that paper and get better quality. Like I will even donate it. All Marvel has to do is give me free books or a statue in my name, and I'd be good. I'll deliver it. I have no problem. But let's start somewhere. The paper quality is just shit. It's
Paper
garbage.
quality is not an excuse because every other company is coming out with great quality stuff. Like the DC books, they're great quality. The Image stuff that's coming out, the Boom stuff is incredible quality. Never mind in like Europe, they get like the Panini stuff. So don't give me this paper shortage stuff. It's all about profits for Marvel. Especially they're charging like $5.99 cover on second prints. I don't know. I don't think it's a paper shortage issue. I think it's a Marvel cheapness issue.
Yeah, they got to do something. I mean, Marvel, come on. It's not like you're, you know, everybody who works at Marvel is probably leaving that parking lot in like Teslas or Mercedes or Porsches. Like
only the
let's be real.
CEO. Everybody else is probably making pennies.
Oh, I don't know, man. Just saying, they're comfortable.
The artists certainly aren't making the big bucks.
Yeah, not yet, anyway. All right, and I do want to make one comment that BC made. Hey, boo. The 1 in 25, I think, is a way better cover than the 1 in 52. Like, I just think there's like the art, everything about it just screams way better to me than this one. So, I don't know. All right, it's that time. Well, you knew we were going to talk about it. Thor #1, first cover appearance of Jane Foster. No, second appearance of Jane Foster, because if you open the book, it should be issue 2, right? There's some argument or people just try to like kind of sweep it under the rug kind of thing. Obviously it spiked after the trailer when the last part of that teaser was, you know, her. I apologize because I don't have a raw copy. I don't have a raw price or a 9/8 price, so I don't know what happened with me here. I probably got a phone call at work. But anyway, this book spiked, and it'll probably spike again because we literally just got a teaser. Does this character have legs? Does this character have a future? That's what we're kind of gambling on. That's what we're being told. But like, I don't know. Is she going to be the one taking over the mantle of Thor? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I really like her as a character. I think there's going to be tons of hype around her. I hope we see her long term. The reason I hope we see her long term is because I hope Thor sticks with the Guardians. Like, that's what we all really want, I think.
Yeah.
But I do think I don't think this is the book with the most room. I think a lot of people gravitated to this early. I still like the What If, the original one. There's still chatter about Hawkeye Deadpool 0.
Yeah.
And then number 2 of this, first full, whatever you want to call it. Yes. Well, yeah, there was a lot of these printed, but the Marvel Now era
Jesus.
wasn't. Well, she's battling cancer, right? So what are you betting on? Her winning or beating cancer or not kind of deal, right? Is she going to be long term? Where do they go with this
but
one?
I look at it as like a marketing and like a business standpoint where this movie comes out and then you have all these young girls, these young females just like looking at this character as an empowering character, right? And I
Cancer
know,
battling, still powerful woman, right?
but they don't know that she has cancer. So maybe that they just kind of skip it. They skip that part, maybe. I don't know. I think she'll stick around, but she isn't the new Thor. Hemsworth is still too loved to make. Yeah, that's the problem.
Hemsworth is perfect, like for that role. Like he grew on me so much.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a solid argument. Yeah, I mean the cancer part really. Yeah, that's a thing, right? So.
And that book is spiking, number 8. And that whole run, right? There's a lot of like people are sleeping on the 1 in 20s and 1 in 25s from that run.
6, 7, 8. All right, so we're going on to the 9th book. No, I forgot. I lost track. I'm like, shoot, how many books was that? All right, well, let's stick with it. What if Jane Foster? We shorten it. We don't ever say it, right? We just say, what if Jane Foster 10? So this was obviously the second book that went off because everybody was saying, well, this one came first and this is the first appearance and yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I never really fell into the trap for Jane Foster. I never really thought she was going to be a character that I collected, spec'd on, invested in, and that stayed true. I don't have any of them, right? This one, again, I apologize. I don't have current price. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I don't have the price for these. But yeah, this one was another one that spiked. I'm okay passing on this one. I think this one will just be down the road. I mean, after the movie, I think it'll just kind of get to a good place. I don't know. What do you think?
I think this is a cool one because it kind of stands alone from the others. It came out so long before it, where the rest kind of are a jumble. She's called Thordis in this, so it's the same argument: the what if version versus the mainstream version versus the MCU version. I think at the end of the day, this is probably the coolest book from this run of What If. I think it's a great book. I would love to have one. And yeah, I think to get it in a high grade is going to be tough. And I do like this book. I think people are sleeping on Thor still. I think that trailer got people going a bit, but people aren't diving heavy. People are still like very surface level, picking away at the Jane Foster stuff.
And that'll be different come the trailer. Like I expect it to be at the end of the month, like the official trailer, and I think that'll change everything.
Yeah, I think there's still room on Jane Foster stuff. Yeah, it's the coolest book.
2K US and 9.8 says it's the coolest book. Yeah. I prefer this one over that Thor one, personally.
Yeah. I prefer this one over a lot. It just becomes price point, right?
Yeah. All right. Excuse me. It's been a long day. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 6. Guys. I don't even know what to say here. Okay. First appearance of El Muerto, Bad Bunny. If you're not familiar with who Bad Bunny is, he is a Latin hip hop star. He's done songs with Drake, Ariana Grande, people like that. So if you're not into that music, probably don't know who Bad Bunny is. If you're not Latin, probably don't know who Bad Bunny is. I think he did an NBA All-Star celebrity game once and did terrible. But first Latino character, Future. I mean, it's Sony, so I don't know. But raw copies were $1 to $2. You could literally find this book everywhere. I remember people pulling this one out as a joke to me, months, years in the past. Raw copies now, $80 to $250 Canadian. Raw. Because there's nobody who graded this. And if there are, they didn't put them on eBay. They didn't put them on Heritage. They didn't put them anywhere that I could find the data. But the fact that you could find this book in most places, let's say you found 10 copies at $1 and you knew that they could get $100 right now, that is some serious quick money. Like that is literally like, this just shows you where our community is with like even the littlest spec will just jump, right? Like this to me, and I'll apologize, the Arthur Harrow. I thought that was going to be stupid. I thought it was going to be a one and done. It's going to be stupid spec. The book was literally $1 forever. And then it turned into a $250 book overnight. This same thing. But obviously I think Arthur Harrow has a longer stability, maybe a longer future, depending on what happens. This one, I think, is just a quick flip. Like, I think by 2 weeks from now, nobody's going to be talking about this. And I hope no one, to God, is paying $250 for this book in 2 weeks. Like, that's just crazy.
I think the good place to look for this book is in the sets. A lot of people skip over that section in their comic shop. And because Friendly Spider-Man was a shorter run, you might be able to find it there. The game I like to play with you, I know you messaged me, you say, is this a good deal or whatever? What would you rather? What would you rather have for $250 than the first appearance of this character?
Yep.
I think this is a flipper's paradise if you can find these books.
I been like standing on some line, but never get to paradise.
We just I should have
put Flipper's Paradise, not Gangster's Paradise. I apologize. That was the whole thing. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Before I.
Anyways,
you never know. Like there could be a music. Just remember how Justin Bieber was found, right? Like his manager. This is
the next Weird Al song.
Maybe. He was searching through YouTube. So I don't know. Maybe there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there's a music producer out there. You know, you never know. But go ahead, Greg. Sorry, I apologize.
But yeah, like you talk about first appearances that you can get for $250. Would you rather have this or the first What If Jane Foster? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no room on this book for any growth. I don't know who's paying for this. It blows my mind. And another thing is like, first Latino American like character, kind of, not really. Like, there was so many underground ones. Like, I was listening to Red Hood yesterday, and he was telling a story about his uncle creating this one character, and it was, like, super rad. And, like, what about Miles?
I was going to say, Miles is Latino, but I know the African-American community was like, no, he's ours, but he is.
Right? So it's just, like, I don't think it's going to have that draw. Do you think that's who the Latino community wants to rally behind as their superhero?
It's not going to be El Muerto.
I just don't see it, right? Yeah, so this book is actually killing me right now. And even number 7, his second appearance. Yeah,
isn't it? No, isn't the second one number 7? Isn't that his? Yeah, second appearance, but it's the first appearance of Del Rado or something.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah. What is it?
So whatever it is, it's like I don't know. I just can't right now, man.
What about White Tiger? White Tiger's Latin too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Actually, there's a comic that most people don't know about. And there's a comic where Spider-Man Peter Parker actually took Ancestry.com and he found out he was like 0.2% like Latin. So, I mean, like Peter Parker is technically Latino.
He's Latin-ish.
Yeah, just saying. So, I mean, we'll claim him too. But yeah.
Next draft.
If you're too young for that, just watch the Dave Chappelle racial draft. It's pretty funny. Why not go for Miles if they want to go Hispanic group? Yeah, absolutely. Well, they will, but like a lot of people are saying that this is the first Latino, but it's not. Pass on this. Jane Foster, yes for me. Yeah, but when you do the compare game, though, Greg, like we usually do in our conversations all the time, like for $250, I would rather go out and get like a bigger book or a bigger key or something, you know what I mean? Especially if you're going to flip, like, I don't know if you're going to get your return back if you spend $250 on this. And the person that probably paid $250, probably a newer collector, probably going to send it off to CGC because he or she is brainwashed into, I have to get it graded. So you're already at like 3, I don't know. If you're in the States, it's probably 30. So let's say 325 already all in, who's going to give you $325 for this book when you get it back in like a year?
And that's if you get a 9/8.
Exactly. Because it
Right?
is
So the
black,
people
right?
paying
So
$250 aren't paying $250 in shops. They're paying $250 on eBay. Like, you get to see photos, don't get me wrong. But like a photo between a 9/8 and a 9/6 and even a 9/4, tough to see sometimes. So imagine paying $250 and getting a 9/4. That hurts.
yeah, dude.
You better.
I would stay away from this one. Like you said, this is the flipper's paradise though. This is a book that you really want to have. El Fuego. All right, those were the hottest comics of April. Now, before we take off, I do want to ask Greg one simple thing. Greg, tomorrow is the finale of Moon Knight. Yes. Any expectations? What are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we get a character reveal? What do you think the end scene is? I know a lot of people are saying Blade. A few people are saying Black Knight. We've had some conversations about Layla. Hey, Layla, how you doing? What are your thoughts, man? What are you expecting tomorrow?
I hope we see superpowers from Layla. I hope Khonshu tries to convince her to do some things.
So you're already expecting us to see Khonshu again, then?
Oh yeah. So when they put all those statues on the wall, I think it set a scenario where I'd be surprised if Khonshu is the only one released from that wall. And I think that might be a bridge. Dan Delatorre was talking, maybe Ramatat. It's so hard on these shows because people hold you to it, right? Like, oh, you said this was going to happen, or you thought this was going to happen. I don't know. There's stuff I think might happen. And do I think, if I were a betting person, I wouldn't put money on any of it. What do I want to happen? I really want to see Dr. Voodoo at the end. Like, so bad. I think he's that realm's connection to everything. But I don't think we will. I hope we get a great episode that ties it all together, and I think we will. I have confidence in Disney.
I think that it's no coincidence that Doctor Strange is coming out the next day.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think it's all going to connect at some point. Am I going to assume that a big character like Blade is revealed in this? No. Do I think that Blade could do similar things like he did in Eternals, where he's like, are you sure you want to do that? Just the voice. I think that could be possible. Same with, Black Knight, or maybe they show Black Knight knocking on his door or something, like, hey, and then it just stops. Like, I could see something like that. But as a big character reveal, like seeing Black Knight or Blade in action or like coming, I don't think we're going to see that at all.
I think if we do see like Black Knight, the tease would be like the sword back in the museum or something. I don't think we'll see a character kind of thing. Like, I think we would see a hint.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Egyptian gods being released. It's a good one. Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I want to see that War of the Gods. I want to see Ammit. I want to see Khonshu. I want because we've only seen Khonshu and everybody else has like their avatars. Like that council, is that all we're gonna see of that council? That's it?
I mean, if those are the gods, like they're no offense, they seem pretty stupid if they couldn't see what Arthur Harrow was doing. Just saying.
Unless he's on their side, like they're conspiring against all those other gods, right?
This is probably my favorite comment of the night. I hope it's good. Might be a stretch though. Oh, North, that was literally, dude. That is the comment of the night, man. Thank you for that. That's like. As long as it's not a musical again. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Yes, as long as it's not a musical. Brother Voodoo, yeah. This is why I love having Rocksteady Comics as a recurring guest on your show, newbie. He's got great instincts.
You can't say that until things happen. So
yeah,
thanks, but hold your horses.
It could be wrong. It could be like Medusa shows up, or like a DC crossover where like Punchline's in it, and then it's
the amalgam.
Wow, you were terribly wrong.
Yeah, way to go.
One thing I do want to say. And maybe, I started thinking about this the other day. I have no idea what I was doing, but I was just thinking, and I'm like, they introduced Kang in Loki, right? And that's a big character, right? So it's not to say that these shows cannot introduce big characters, because Kang is a big character. I'm wondering if they use all these shows moving forward to kind of introduce different variants of Kang. So, and I don't want to get all, Dan De La Torre's, all revved up, but like, what if they do show Ramatut or something, because like we are in Egypt and he is a variant. Like, what if, like, moving forward, similar to how we had Thanos in every movie at the end, just doing like little clips here and there? What if that's what we do? What if that's what they do? These shows connecting different universes with a different variant. So this one would literally lead perfectly to Ramatut. I think a lot of people had that one, right? As a possibility, but like,
that would have to be everything leading up to, I guess, Ant-Man, because I think that's where we're going to get the big clash with Kang, if you were asking me. We'll be in that quantum realm kind of deal.
I've said for a long time that that's going to be the big one. I think a lot of people, I think this one, Doctor Strange and Ant-Man are probably going to be the two biggest movies. Like, they will be in everybody's top 5, I think. When we look back like 5 years ahead, I think both of these movies will be in the top 5. 5 years from now, if you ask me, hey man, name me your top 5, like what movies could you not see in your top 5? I don't think I would see Doctor Strange in my top 5, but I think I'd see Ant-Man in my top 5. And that says a lot.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that hasn't been done that could be done in that movie. I kind of felt the same way about Moon Knight, but they've taken so long to introduce him in the universe. We haven't gotten into it.
The show should not have been called Moon Knight from the start. It should have been called Mark Spector. Comic people and people who don't know comics would still have gone to see it from the star power, and nerds like us would literally be like, oh my God, it's Mark Spector. Yeah, Moon Knight. And then you could literally just do Moon Knight on the side. I think it's a shame the fact that they did 6.5 hours and we got Moon Knight in the costume for about 8 minutes. That's just my take.
I still want to see where it goes. We've had this conversation because I've been into it, right? So it's really interesting talking to you, because you messaged me right after you watch, and I messaged you after I watch it.
Yeah,
and our ratings are so different.
Our ratings are way off. So, with that said,
I want to save my judgment for the end.
Yeah. With that said, with the end, let's not spoil it. I know a lot of people have gone out of their way to delete, Doctor Strange 2 stuff. But I mean, if you are going to put a spoiler, put the spoiler warning, right? Like, don't just put it. It ruins a lot of things, man. So definitely just do that if you're going to do that. But don't spoil it. Let people have this, right? Like, it's okay to be first in spec and stuff like that, but like, go ask. You know what I mean? Don't just put it out there to be, people are going to be, oh my God, great. Now I know this. Like, a lot of this.
Not everybody's a flipper speculator and wants to get ahead of it. A lot of people want to sit back and enjoy it. Let people enjoy it.
Exactly. So don't ruin it. Enjoy New Comic Book Day. Now, before we leave, Rocksteady, let the people know, man, where can they find you? And I do want to thank you for hopping on, man. It's been a lot of fun. It's always fun to chat and shop with you. So let the people know, where can they find Rocksteady?
You can find me on Instagram at Rocksteady Collectibles, and on Whatnot at Rocksteady Collects. I'm doing a sale tomorrow night. I have some fun stuff. And then Saturday morning, Ozzy and I are doing back-to-back X-Men shows, and we're bringing the X-Men keys and the heat. So if there are anything you want to see me post up, I actually came across 6 long boxes, and there's a lot of X-Men in there. I think I have maybe everything from 200 to 350 almost. So if there's anything you want, I obviously can't put all of them up. Hit me up ahead of time and I'll add it to the list for Saturday.
Damn. Well, there you go. Whatnot, Instagram, no YouTube, not yet, maybe. But yeah, go follow Rocksteady. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Don't ruin Moon Knight. Don't ruin Doctor Strange. Enjoy New Comic Book Day. A lot of good books coming out tomorrow. So hopefully everybody gets what they wanted. JOMO, FOMO, whatever the case may be. Don't overspend. There's always another week.
Don't sleep on the second Prince.
Don't sleep on that. There's always another book as well. We'll be back at it Sunday, 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. Rumor has it, next week, next Tuesday, Automatic Comics, Swaggle House are taking over the channel. So make sure you tune in. next Tuesday. Keys to Avoid next week.
Ooh,
All right, guys. Later.
Peace.